guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A great big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. All right, so this video will actually have 3 different sections, and so in the description box as well as the pinned comment, I'll have timestamps. We'll have an unhaul, we'll have a haul, and then we'll have happy mail. So if you're only interested in 1, 2, or 3 of the sections, then you'll know what to skip ahead to or skip back to. We're going to start first with the unhaul. Now these are 4 coloring books that I have not touched, that I picked up various time. So these 3, actually no, all 4 of these were December 2022. I have not colored in them, but at least for the first 3, I believe these are all AI generated, and I've just decided to just purge my collection of anything that I'm assuming is AI generated coloring books, and that's a personal preference. That's just something I've chosen to do. I will be donating these. I won't just trash them, but I have come to kind of terms of where I want my money to go towards, and for me personally, I just don't want any AI generated kind of coloring books. And this one again, after a while, they begin to look very similar. And I think it's because the software that they're using to generate AI, they're pulling all from the same sources. And so again, I love a lot of these images in here, but again, I don't want any AI generated. Now this one here, I don't know that it is AI generated. I actually saw this being advertised on Instagram by this person here. So this might actually be this artist's actual work that he's created line art to. However, while I enjoy looking through this coloring book, I have yet to feel any compulsion to color in it. And I don't want to keep things just to have them, even though, again, that is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, one of the images, this one right here, I think is stunning. It's just, even looking at this now, I love looking at this. I love reading the text, but I am still have no compulsion whatsoever to color things. And if I'm going to be getting rid of and donating some stuff anyway, I'm just going to include. So again, this one right here, I think this is actually his art. I'm not 100% sure, because it does say the original artwork next to the coloring page. But again, I don't know if it's original painted artwork or AI generated artwork. I don't know. So because I don't feel the compulsion to color in this, and I don't want to keep things, then it is going to be included in this. But again, this one right here, I am not sure if it is AI generated or not. These Unhauling ones, these 2 right here, I'm pretty sure indicate on Amazon site that they are AI, or that the Unhauling is interested in AI. And then this one, A.B. Haley, again, I don't know if this is AI or not, but it definitely gives me the feels of AI, and so I'm just not going to keep it in my collection. Although I specifically bought this one because although I'm not geared towards chibi, I thought some of them would look really interesting in sort of dark colorways. But yeah, so I'm going to unhaul these here. And then what I have hauled within the last few weeks, certainly in April and just a little bit in May, it's currently May 14th, is this coloring book here by Kristen Caron. I actually had no idea this was out, and when I saw the price on it, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to spend $25 on a Kristen Caron book. But I did not realize this was the same publisher as the Jasmine Beckett Griffith books, and so the paper quality on this is really nice. And yes, I will definitely pay for paper, even though this is definitely going to be an alcohol marker base at least, but she does have beautiful artwork. Poet, Pixie, and Deb, we have 2 that we're going to be doing group buddy colors. This one, I've already colored this one in the only other Kristen Caron book that I have, but I have an idea on how to attack her. And then the other one we're going to be doing is this one. Of course, it's for Mermaid, but Kristen Karen work is absolutely beautiful, and I do enjoy coloring the pages. I don't know that I'll be doing a lot of doubles in that. Again, I have one Kristen Karen book, so I don't know that I'll be coloring those images again, but I do know that I like the paper because I do have two other books from this publisher, and so if I did want to do just a pencil page, I certainly could. But that is Wildflower Folk by Kristen Karen. I did a sort of like a screenshot of this in the last haul video, but I did get this wonderful little world by Colora, or Color Ya, and this one is really interesting. That it is spiral bound at the top. It's very detailed. It's animals doing people things. When I purchased it, the title was in French, but I got this version, which is fine. I don't actually buy it for the cover. The paper is super thick, like super duper thick. So when I am going through it, sometimes I feel like, oh, wait, is that just one? But it is very, very hard cardstock. But this is something that I purchased back in April 2023. The Wildflower Folk that I just showed you guys, I was inspired by Zucchini Kitty because she was doing a flip through, and when she talked about the paper quality, then I was sold on it, because the images are always beautiful from Kristen Karen, but if it's just Amazon paper, I'm not paying $25 for that. But if it's better paper, then yeah, I'm absolutely willing to spend some money. So this I also got from Amazon. I don't link things in my video, but if there's anything that you're interested in, let me know and I can certainly get that link to you. I saw this Vox Machina on Elm Colors channel. I have seen season 1. I am rewatching it. There already is season 2. I do like this cartoon anime, but I have to tell you, it is very much an adult cartoon, like rated R, sexual themes included kind of anime, but it's funny. It's very dialogue driven. It's very actiony, and I really enjoy that. I actually need to reach out to Erica. I think are going to buddy color in here for June. So I definitely want to suggest some pages to her that we can do for June. But yeah, I got this Vox Machina, a coloring book. All these coloring books I did get from Amazon. And this is another one where I did a screenshot, but I did get this from Amazon as well. I was inspired by Poet for this. I'd actually seen flip throughs. I didn't think I was going to get it. And then when Poet did a flip through, I'm like, yeah, okay. I need this now. I do love that it is single-sided, so I can use my alcohol markers. The paper is, I think, a little different. I think that's what people had mentioned from the original, like, Circle of Life and the other one that she has, the mandala one. But again, because it's single-sided, that doesn't really matter to me. I know in the Circle of Life, my Tombow water-based markers work beautifully. So I'm going to test them in here as well, but I'm also, again, probably going to predominantly just focus on alcohol markers because I can. But that's this one here, Enchanted Earth by Melpomene Chatsi Panagitu. I did pick up a Color 72-piece watercolor pencil. I actually do want the Albrecht Dürer. I have the 24 original set, or basic set, I guess you could call it, but they are so pricey. And so I wanted to test out another watercolor pencil because I have some Ergosoft from Stettler that I'm perpetually borrowing from my mom. I don't think she knows I have it. I do have my Inktense, but they are not watercolor pencils. They are ink blocks basically in pencil form, and so I did want to get something that is marketed as watercolor. I took it out of the tin. I will be keeping the tin, although it did come up a little banged up, and I chose the 72 set versus the, I think, 120 set because I already had a case that could fit 72 pencils. And so I took it out, and even though in the tin it was not in this order, I tried to put it in family order as much as possible. while still maintaining the 72 pieces, because the 72 includes this right here. It doesn't include these things right here. And so it just fit. I have used them. Let me show you the picture I've used them on. And it's this one right here. I will need to do a picture that has both the Color as well as the Albrecht Dürer pencils on one page, because just from my initial thoughts, it certainly gives me a level of vibrancy that I enjoy. They seem really hard, and so you can get pigment, but I don't know that you can do a lot of blending. I did both water with a brush as well as using a Tombow blender. There is no bleed through on this, so that's good. And again, I will need to test this side by side, how they feel with my Albrecht Dürer. And of course, the Albrecht Dürer is definitely inspired by Shell's of Shell's Coloring Corner, because I've seen some of her beautiful works. I have been doing a lot more pencil work, and so I just want to see, can I find something that gives me sort of similar feels? Because if I'm just going to be washing it out anyway with water, then I don't know that I necessarily have to have something that is soft, although it could be easier on my hands. This is actually done over a period of a couple of days, just because there's some small elements. It's nearly done. I'll probably do some distress ink on the background here, but otherwise I'm happy with the results. And there are quite a few layers. I did try to do the dry, and then you kind of wash it out with one of these two mediums, and then adding some additional color on top. I don't know that it works that well with that, but then again, I don't know if it's just this paper. So when I do some testing and I have more thoughts, then I'll definitely let you guys know. And that's the last of the coloring books and supplies that I hauled. So let me show you the happy mail that I got from my friend Andy. All right, so we did a book swap, and I sent her a book, and I'll show you the cover of it here. And I annotated it for the very first time. I'd never done that before. And now, having received hers, and yes, I actually did finish this book last night. I got it yesterday morning, finished it last night at like 2 in the morning, and I love it. Mariana Zapata is an author that Andy has introduced to me, and I'd say about 75% of Mariana's work I absolutely love. I actually enjoy the other like 25%, but her grumpy sunshine trope is definitely the favorite, and some of her books are not that to me. And so all roads lead here. And the way that Andy did it was, she's done some annotation, but I can see now how I approached mine and how she approached hers. Because I'd never done it before, I approached it like I would approach a homework assignment, where there was an insane number of tabs that I used. All right, guys, so this is a little bit of a different video from me, but I did something new within the last week based on something that my friend Andy and I are doing. I'll go ahead and link her channel below. And what we're doing is we reread a book that we've read before and annotated them, and then I'm going to mail this to her, and then as she's reading through, then she'll see things that I thought were interesting or funny or whatever. This is a book that I read back in 2022, the very beginning part of it. I did pick this up from Barnes & Nobles, and it was absolutely a cover buy for me. I think this was a debut book for this author, so I had no idea what I was getting into. But I have to tell you, I enjoyed the ride. Now, I have never annotated anything before, so I wanted to have all of the tabs, because I've seen that. Andy does that. I've seen it on Instagram. I know that's a thing. But because I had never annotated anything before, I didn't really have a system in place on what colors meant. So I used one of my blotter sheets, and I had to, as I was going along, okay, this meant that, and this meant that, and this meant that. And like this one here, it evolved over time because I wanted it to mean more things than it would have covered in here. I also ran out of pink page flags, and so I had to create some of my own with some bigger transparent books that I have. Now, I will tell you that I found the process interesting. And I'd like to do this again with my friend Andy, but with a book, probably with an author that I've enjoyed, but I have not actually read the book. Because what was problematic with here is I knew how this ended. So I knew that I liked the book, and I hope that she likes it as well. If I were to ever annotate something on my own, and to be honest, I don't know that I would only do the page flags, because I'm not going to lie. I like how that looks, but I did a dual page flag and highlighted method because I wanted to kind of reference what it is that I thought was interesting on that page. Now, for the most part, it is just highlighted and tabbed. Every once and again, I would actually write in the book, and this is going to go to her, and this is hers to keep, because as much as I enjoyed rereading this, if I want to reread it again, I'll just buy the digital copy. I'm not really buying a lot of physical books anymore. But towards the ending of it, I just got immersed in the story. And so there isn't as much tabs in the ending of it. And because it's already more than halfway through the book, there's not a lot of world building or introduction of new characters, then the amount of flags actually decreased quite a bit. But I still enjoyed it. I hope she enjoys it too. But because she's going to be sending me a book, I did wanted to do an unboxing with you guys, and I'll just tag this video towards the ending of it because I plan to wrap this up and send this out to her in the next few days. Sending me a book, I'm sending her a book. We're not reading the exact same book, but I'm hoping that with her annotations on the book that she's sending me, it'll feel like we're just hanging out and sitting. And I'm hoping as she's reading through this, she'll get a feel of what I liked. And I did like this book quite a bit. So I wanted to do just a quick video to insert to the unboxing that I'll do with her things that she's sending me, just to give you an idea of the process we did. Because it took a week to do this, it's not something that I think I can do on the regular, but I did enjoy it. And like I said, I think the next time we do this, I'm going to see if I can find something new with the pros and cons of that is I'll be reading it for the first time and experiencing for the first time and tabbing or whatever based on that. But then also if the book is not great, then I might be wasting my time. So yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think if you've ever done something like this. When she mentioned it, I was quite intrigued, and I'm happy that I did this, and I'm looking forward to doing this in the future. And I highlighted things that were either interesting to me or I thought were moving the plot forward or about the characters. And so there was a lot of tabs, a lot of highlights, but it definitely was more, I don't want to say clinical, but there wasn't a lot of personality to it. Andy definitely has less tabs than I used, but then she also did a lot of writing in some of the margins. And so when I got to certain things, then I was like she was sitting right there next to me, and she's like, did you get to that part yet? Did you get to that part yet? And it just made this so much more personal. And it was things that I don't normally highlight books. I don't normally take notes about books, but I can definitely see why annotating and exchanging books can be just so interesting, because I really felt like Andy and I were sitting just here together reading this story, which was absolutely phenomenal. Definitely one of my top 5 of my Mariana Zapata books. And yes, Andy, I do want a Rhodes. Definitely want a Rhodes. But then she also sent me a whole bunch of stuff. She sent me this bookmark. And I think it's hilarious. It says, I don't watch porn, I read it like a lady. And I don't swear on my channel because I know that sometimes people watch with their kids or their grandkids, but you can read that. And yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I do. And she sent me some of these little ticket things here. You detach them. And I've already actually used one of these when I was putting together my Mother's Day card for my mom. And This I'll be using in my journals, and so very pretty. I love these label type of things. She sent to me some washi stickers. I actually have this set, but in the pink and brown way. So I love that I have another set. This is actually going to go to work where that set is. She sent me some other stickers right here that's in neutrals, and I love stickers. She sent me this set here that had both paper and stickers in it. Oh, and I guess this is how you keep it all together. Oh, well, that's handy. That's actually very handy. So I can keep all of these things together. Oh, and look at this. If I didn't have big man hands, it'd probably be a lot easier to do. But yeah, that little heart piece actually sticks in there, and this all stays together. That's perfect. She sent me more stickers as layering pieces here. Looks like a tea stained paper. Sorry, the glare is probably insane. And then I was so happy to see these. One, because I love page flags and for my coloring book hobby, but just in general, I love having these little things. But there's also, and let me take one out. It's attached to this ruler. Now, clearly this goes in a spiral bound or disc bound kind of system, but I'm just gonna cut that off so I don't have that poking out. I'm gonna put one of these with my Hobonichi so that I always have a straight edge, but I also have measurements. Now, this is done in centimeters, but again, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm normally not measuring things in my Hobonichi weeks. I just need a straight edge. But I love that. I love the neutrals of this. I think it's really pretty, and I love that it came on a little ruler here. Oh, and then she gave me this bag that has books on it. She also gave me a bag of candy, but I had to call the police because that was stolen. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I mean, I just got it yesterday, and more than half the bag is stolen. I mean, I can't help that, right? Well, I did have quite a bit last night because it was Saturday, and if you can't eat a bunch of candy that your friend gave you on a Saturday night, I mean, what are Saturday nights even for then? But I also shared a little bit with my dad and my brother. Yeah, I called the police because someone stole my candy. That's funny to me anyway. Thank you so much, Andy. I really loved this book. I love seeing your thoughts. Of course, I love seeing all the other things right here, but I definitely want to do this again. There's another book that I have in mind that I think I can do that on. That's definitely going to be later in the year once I get past the semester, because it's going to ramp up into crazy cuckoo nuts. All right, I'd love to know what you guys think of any of the things I've hauled, unhauled, or my happy mail from my friend Andy. Definitely check out her channel. And as always, aloha.